stopwatch setting going on here. I just bought this watch and I think I've broken it already. In this episode we will be hunting the DM3 locomotive. And I am crossing my fingers, even as I am holding this shovel right now, that we can find a DM3. Here we are. Can we see a DM3? Is there a DM3 in sight? Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This is episode 12 of Derail Valley Simulator career mode playthrough. Once again, I thought I would, well, basically we ended up here from the last episode, episode 11 that was. Have you seen episode 11? I'll put a card up above. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check that out. I did a bit of a double header with a DH4 combo, and yeah, we took a fairly hefty load down here. But anyway, yes, we do have the expert shovel, as I'm just showing there right now. We got the expert shovel way back in episode 4. I'll put a card up above in case you didn't catch that. But yes, we were driving the steam shunter earlier on in career mode, and I thought today maybe we'll take the steam shunter out for another little run. It's nice and early in the morning here, just 6:45 right now, and the weather forecast is looking a little bit dreary today. And yeah, the sun's going to come out a little bit later apparently, but yeah, there's a bit of rain today so far, but yeah, hopefully we'll see that sunshine a little bit later today. But anyway, let's have a look at the slew of jobs that we have here at Harbour and Town. And before we do that, actually, I think I might just quickly show off just the stats in career mode at the moment. So we've got $78,000 in the wallet right now. And yeah, basically our copay has shot up to $70,000, as you can see there as well. But the good news is we do own quite a few licenses here. And we did pick up this license right here in the last job, in the last episode, episode 11, and that was Hazmat or Hazardous Materials 1. Okay, so with this license now that we have, that we got at the end of the last episode, we can go ahead and haul some hazardous materials and take these wherever we want, basically. Hopefully we don't blow them up. But yes, we can see that the copay is quite high at the moment. So general rule of thumb is with the copay, that's like your insurance excess or like your insurance payout if anything goes wrong. That's the money that you have to cough up, basically. So always good to have that amount in your wallet at least. So yeah, we do kind of have that at the moment, so that's good, I guess. Let's have a look at these jobs. I'm thinking we'll probably do this one here. This is delivered diesel, and we're going from Harbour and Town over to City Southwest, and it's a fairly modest $26,000 payout there. There will be a bit of a bonus payout if we do it within a certain time frame as well. That being 121 minutes. We'll see if we can manage that today. Basically, we'll be going from Harbour and Town. We'll be, I'm thinking probably go down the bottom part of the map. There's a huge set of inclines coming out of Harbour and Town. But yes, we'll be heading across, potentially go up Forest South or Sawmill. And there's CSW, our destination. So because we're going to be taking the steam engine, as I alluded to just earlier, I'm thinking I might stop along the way at either Forest South, FRS, or Sawmill, SW. And that is purely because the steam engine has quite limited range, especially the little steam shunter, which I'm thinking of taking today. So if you want to see me struggle with the steam shunter in another video, check out the card up above, drive around the entire map with the steam shunter. But in the meantime, let's go ahead to the shop because I've got a surprise. Right, so we're here at the shop in Harbour and Town. This shop is just between the E and the F yards. And yeah, it's nice and early in the morning now. So yeah, you can see the shop on the map there with the little dollar sign towards the right hand side. Now, Steve's garage key sold out. I wonder why that is. Well, I actually picked up the slug as it happens, and that was actually in a previous episode of career mode. That was episode 8 for those of you who are interested and haven't seen that. But as you can probably see right here, today we are interested in something a little bit different, the pocket watch. So I have been getting some feedback from some of you just saying previously that I should actually get the pocket watch, and you are dead right on that one, because it's just good to know exactly what time it is sometimes in the game. The only thing with this, obviously, it doesn't show AM or PM, but seriously, you'd have to be fairly dense to not know if the sun was rising or setting. Now, there is a bit of a stopwatch setting going on here. And I'm not, I just hope I haven't actually broke my watch already. I just bought this watch and I think I've broken it already. Anyway, I'm sure we'll work it out in due course. Let's head on back to the station building and get all set up. Just check the watch there, can see that it's coming up to almost 8 o'clock. The watch is proving handy already. Alright, well we might as well go ahead and validate our job and get this show on the road. Now, as I did mention before, we are going to be taking the steam shunter today. And some of you might be saying, oh, but you said that you were going to take the 2 DH4s in the last episode once again, because they proved to be quite handy. And yes, we could have done this job actually with the 2 DH4s still in the engine shed waiting for us. And we could be getting 100 grand as well if we did that right now. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to deviate from the plan, because I have a little bit of a motive for today's episode, as you can probably tell from the title of this episode, and I haven't mentioned it at all just yet. But I have a plan, and that plan is to leave these 2 DH4s behind for this episode. Unfortunately, you can see I've still got the doors open from the last episode too. Might as well just go ahead and close them up. These 2 beasts, they really proved handy in the last episode, episode 11. If you haven't checked that out yet, I definitely recommend you do. But this is going to be our rider for today, the venerable old steam shunter, which we've had a little bit of experience with so far in career mode. Just make sure the lubricator's on before we go ahead and move this thing. We'll get this thing fired up and over to the turntable in just a moment. Before we do that, let's go ahead and just get the turntable all set up and aligned. Now, I haven't actually mentioned just yet what I'm going to be doing in today's episode. As I said before, just now, the title of this episode does kind of give it away, but yes, I might as well just go ahead and mention it already. In this episode, we will be hunting the DM3 locomotive. I know how much all of you love the DM3 as well, most of you do, and you would have seen me struggle and enjoy the DM3 locomotive in some of the other videos on my channel recently, but only in sandbox mode. Yes, I have not driven it yet in career mode, which is an absolute travesty if you ask me. So I thought in today's episode, I'm going to correct that, and I'm going to basically make good on the old DM3, because I love driving that thing. And who knows, that might be a locomotive that I end up driving quite a bit in career mode going forward. Now, it's easy for me to sit here and say, yep, I'm going to go and get the DM3 today and drive that, but it's not always that easy. Unfortunately, with this Derail Valley simulator, these locomotives generally spawn at certain stations in a more or less random manner. So if I visit a particular siding or station, I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to see the DM3. I might see another steam shunter, or I might see a little diesel shunter, the DE2, who knows. So really, a lot of this is going to come down to luck today, unfortunately, and I'm crossing my fingers, even as I am holding this shovel right now, that we can find a DM3, because I'd love to be able to drive that thing in career mode. And of course, the other thing is we still need to get the license for the old DM3 as well. So for those of you not familiar with the DM3, that is a diesel mechanical locomotive, and it's got lots of gears on it. So you basically have to shift it like a manual locomotive, more or less. So yeah, that's part of the charm of operating the old DM3. And hopefully, if we get to see it today, we'll get have a little bit of a run and see what it's all about. Now, I am using the expert shovel here, and that's why you can see only a very small amount of coal gets added each time. The default shovel will shovel a whole lot more coal in every shovel load, and I don't find that to be very realistic. That's why I'm sticking with this expert shovel, and I'm finding that it's a lot better for masterful, realistic gameplay. Right, so let's get out there onto the turntable, and yeah, we can see there the lovely pocket watch. Just stick that there. Maybe not. Actually, I'm a little bit worried. This thing's expensive. I don't want to lose it. So I think I'm going to keep this on my person rather than in the cab, because as you know, physics does apply to objects in the cab. So yeah, you can find bits and pieces go flying off the dashboard whilst you're underway. So anyway, onto the turntable we go. I'm just going to spin this thing around a little bit and line it up with the siding that's ahead of us, and then we'll be scooting on out of here. There we go. That's looking good. Right, let's board all aboard and get onto the main line, shall we? Okay, so just setting the points here to go rolling into the yard, into this looks like transfer yard, according to the map at least. And here we will find our 3 diesel carriages just patiently waiting for us to couple up and take them out of here. So that's a G30 or G30. G30, I think. Transfer yard 3 outgoing, I think that means. Okay, let's get all hooked up to these carriages. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and get all coupled up here. Connect the coupler and the air brake hoses. Open the brake valves to allow air pressure into the rest of the train and release these brakes. Looks like this handbrake is off. It's probably the one on the other end. It's normally just one handbrake on either end of the train, on either end, one or the other I mean. That's engaged, so that is now off as well. Now this load is only 135 ton today, as the job card did say, so not a huge load for the old shunter. I did actually pull a very similar amount of weight in my drive around the map video with this thing. And it is very much achievable with this steam shunter. It's nowhere near the limits of what this thing can pull today. So I don't think we'll have any issues from that point of view. And hopefully that will mean that our water and coal reserves are going to last us a lot longer before we need to refuel. So we'll just see how far we can get. Headlights are looking like they're on too, which is good. Lubricator is on, has been on all this time, which is good as well. We wouldn't want that to be off, because otherwise yeah, we'll burn up all our running gear from lack of lubrication. So yeah, they've made some updates to the lubricator in one of the recent updates to this game as well, so it's a lot more realistic and actually works now, I think, or actually indicates properly. Too bad I don't have that super expensive flashlight, but anyway, maybe we'll get that in a future episode. For the moment, let's get out of here and start making tracks, as it were. I'm going to use careful operation of the damper during this run, because I just want to obviously run this thing economically. So don't expect me to break any speed records with today's run. We're going to be trying to run a nice conservative way, and that might even involve running slowly at times, and maybe even slightly too slowly. But we'll see how we go. The one thing with running in career mode as well is you need to be mindful of just your expenses, your incoming, outgoings, and obviously your goal is to make as much money as you can so that you can buy more licenses and then drive more trains and carry more different diverse loads, more hazardous loads and top secret loads, military, army contracts and whatnot. So this should be a fairly nice and easy run out of here. But like I said, there will be a set of inclines as we leave harbour and town, so we'll just need to be mindful of that. Let's just get some water pumped into the boiler here, because it's a good idea to do this before we start hitting the hills. Pumping water on an incline is not ideal because you lose a lot of boiler pressure when you introduce water into the boiler, and that reduces your effective power. So if you need power from the boiler and you're pumping water into it, it's not a good day, especially if you've got a heavy load. But like I said, we don't really have a heavy load this morning, or today in the game at least. Okay, so a quick overview of where we're going. We're going to be climbing these crazy hills out of harbour and town right here, and then I'm thinking we'll track along the yeah, probably go along the bottom of the map here, I reckon. So yeah, head towards City Southwest anyway. Hopefully we'll have enough water to get us there. Right now I'm just focused on keeping the speed up. At the base of this incline, as soon as we're past this curve, I'm going to open this throttle up fully to give this locomotive the best chance of just conquering this hill. Like I said a few times now, we don't have a very heavy load, but at the same time, don't want to take any chances. So let's get the speed going. Get this throttle wide open. Just back off the reverser a little bit there to save a little bit of steam. That's just like shifting into a higher gear. Yeah, we're really pushing the speed now. Just backing off the throttle slightly. Oops, no, I turned the sand on. Oh man. See, this is how problems start. Full throttle, come on. Now we need some coal, let's go. This fire is dying. Going well so far. I don't think we'll have a problem getting up this hill. This steam shunter is rated for quite a lot more weight than this. So the main consideration is just making sure that we, that I can actually flip that point over. That's coming up. It's kind of just around the corner here, so I'm just letting the train slow down a little bit here because I don't want to go too fast and then miss and go through those points and go in the wrong direction. So let's just make sure that we have these ready to go. Come on, where's that point sign? There it is. Excellent. All right, points are set. Let's go. Let's just start adding a bit of water. Boiler pressure's okay, and we are okay. We're over the hill. Excellent. Alright, well, you know, I'm thinking now as well, I'm having a little bit of regret already. I'm thinking we probably could have gone to the right, and that might have been a shorter way to get to City Southwest. At the same time, we are on the hunt for the DM3, so I'm thinking I do actually want to stop by Forest South, because a lot of those little foresty kind of depots is where you'll find the DM3 a lot of the time. So areas like the Sawmill, Forest South, Forest Central, that's where you'll find the DM3. So no point going to like places like, well, Harbour and Town like here, Steel Mill. Probably less of a chance of finding the DM3 there, I guess. Or let's add a bit more water. We're running a bit low. And we've got a good amount of momentum right now as well. So, you know what? Wow. Okay. Yep. I think we're going a little bit too fast. I can hear the squealing. That's the wheels telling us they're having a bit of a hard time. Don't want to lose our load. It's such a small load as well. Alright, boiler pressure's coming down, so I've got to watch that. Let's get the fire. Let's dig into our coal stores just a little bit more here. I'm hoping with this expert shovel that we will actually preserve coal, because we are using only little bits of it at a time. Yeah, I keep looking back at this other route, but yeah, you know what? I don't think that's a good idea, because we would have missed going through Forest South. So we'll continue as we are going. At least there aren't too many hills going this way, so it should be smooth sailing for a little while here, just getting through these twists and turns. I think from memory the speed limit does go down to 20 and 30, or 30 and 20, so do need to watch that, make sure we're not going too fast. Should be a nice old run today, and hopefully we can score the DM3 as well. Unfortunately, boiler pressure is coming way down, so I'm Doing a bit of damage control here, having to pump a bit of water as well. So yeah, our boiler pressure is really taking a hit right now. Let's back off the power just to preserve and allow the boiler pressure, because it's come down to like 5 bar there, so that's not good. I want to keep it at least around 9 normally. So we are way low on the boiler pressure. Let's just get this damper right up, open fully. I'm trying to regain some of our boiler pressure here. I'm going to need power as well, so... having a bit of a battle right now, trying to get the boiler pressure recovered. Whilst not using too much fuel and water at the same time. I want to try and make sure we can keep going for as long as possible here. If we do need to refuel, then that can, well, it'll be the water that runs out first normally, as we know with the steam shunter, or if you're not aware, that's normally what happens, at least from my experience. And the good thing is, at least, well, our boiler pressure is recovering, but also they do have water towers at most places now in this game. Most little depots, even places that don't have coal service. Alright, I estimate that we are more or less in this position right here. So we'll continue on to this yellow dot, which is Forest South. So, yeah, there's a bit of an incline on the way there. I was going to go past Sawmill, but I think I'll stop at Forest South. And hopefully there's a DM3 waiting for us. If there is, I tell you, I am going to swap locomotives and take that DM3. Let's get some more water going here, because once again, the steam shunter gets very thirsty, especially when you've got the power on quite hard. Trying to manage the fire here. Seems like I'm going on a bit of a downhill curve, downhill section, so let's get on the brakes, because it seems like we're speeding up here. Don't want to go too fast. Yeah, looks like we've got some rather sharp curves in this region of the map, so it can't go too fast around here. I'm just going to put the brake on again, slow us right down, because this is a 20 zone. Well, that's a lot of water. Okay, hopefully we won't need water again for a while. Boiler pressure's gone down the drain. So once again, it's just a case of adding more coal, because our fire is very low. Here's me trying to save coal. Yeah, okay, we've really done it, I think. Draft, open the damper. Boiler pressure's gone down the drain. We're at just above 3 bar. That's way too low. Let's get the blower open. We've got lots of new water in the boiler, so this is going to affect our steam generation. It's a good thing we've got a light load behind us today, because if we had a heavy train and we're trying to go up a hill right now, we would be dead in the water. Running these steam engines really is a art. As you can see there, the smoke's nice and grey though. That means that we are burning a very efficient fire. We just need to get this boiler pressure up a little bit more. Once again, we are slowing down. And I'm taking the power off as well, so we're going to slow down even more. We need to get this pressure up, 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 up. Okay, pressure's rising. I need to preserve speed, so I've got the throttle open once again now. 30k now limit. I guess we'll just keep trundling like this until we get closer to Forest South. So, in the interest of time, I will just keep on trucking along, or keep on training along. And I'll check in with you shortly as we near Forest South and get a little bit closer. Okay, I've just been trundling along without issue for a little while now. We're kind of reaching the middle section of the map. Once again, I've just been fighting that battle of trying to get my boiler pressure up, but not use too much fuel as well. I feel like it's a bit of a futile attempt because I still keep raiding the coal store no matter what. Okay, so as we continue westward, we are basically not far now from Forest South. I estimate that we are more or less right here as we cross this little bridge section. And so we need to just continue on, and then we'll be hooking a right, and then we'll be going up some hills, and then that will be Forest South. We will be there, so not far to go now. The day is getting on in the game, so it's getting a little bit late. I'm thinking that if we do encounter the DM3 at Forest South, I might actually spend the night at Forest South and continue on with this job tomorrow morning in the game, because at the rate we're going right now, this little steam shunter, we really are just trundling along. We're not really making good time. And I think this was expected anyway. Well, I did kind of expect the run to go a little bit like this because I'm trying to save fuel. I don't want to run out of water or coal halfway across the map and then be stuck, essentially. And I can see some smoke rising, and I can see that is Forest South up ahead in the distance there. So that's good news. Once we go around this curve, we'll get a better look at Forest South, and I'm hoping that my heart won't be broken. Sounds really bad. But yes, I'm hoping that there will be a DM3 there, otherwise all of this would have been for nothing. We would just have to continue on with the steam shunter. Oh no! Keep the coal levels up because we do need to bring our. Oh, okay. So here we are. Here we are. Can we see a DM3? Is there a DM3 in sight? Oh, I think that's a DM3 right there. That's a DM3 in the distance, ladies and gentlemen. Now we just need to make it over there. And my boiler pressure really isn't happy right now. I need to get that DM3! Kind of obscured now by the trees, but I'm fairly certain that is a DM3 back there in the distance. And I'm actually quite excited right now because this is a first for career mode, at least for my career mode, because I've never played with the DM3, never driven the DM3 before in career mode, and I haven't even got the license for it, so yeah, there's that as well. So once we get to Forest South, that's my hope is that one, we'll probably end up just servicing this steam shunter and just set it aside, and then two, go ahead and purchase the DM3 license, and then I think by that time the sun will be pretty much going down, so it might be a good time at that point to just spend the night at Forest South, which is what I'm looking at right now. It's not too far away now, so we just need to curve around, and yeah, I can definitely make out that blue tinge there. There's definitely a DM3 hiding in the trees there, so yes, yeah, well, this is a cause for a bit of a celebration, I think. Okay, looks like we're coasting along fairly well. I'm just going to bring the damper down a little bit and just save the fire so that we don't use too much coal. There is a set of points coming up soon. And we'll just, yeah, I can hear the train just picking up speed here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of brake on. Yep, so we've got a junction coming up. And we just need to make sure we do bear off to the right and then climb up the hill towards Forest South. And score our DM3. It's already spawned into the world, so it shouldn't despawn now, hopefully. Just put a little bit more brake on here. Get up to 2 bars because I am, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned how fast we're accelerating right now. And I'm not even on any power. I've got the throttle at 0, so yep, I can see there's the points there. They just need to be flipped over to the right-hand side. There we go, done. Okay, off the brake, off the brake. We're slowing down. We're gonna stop. No. Okay, and I haven't timed this very well. I did say to myself I was going to pump, oh, not pump, but shovel coal, not pump water, but shovel coal like crazy to get the fire going, because we need boiler pressure for this last set of inclines just before Forest South. I do know that there's a bit of an incline over to the right now as we go up this set of tracks here. And unfortunately we're down to 3 bar on the old boiler pressure, so this is very badly timed indeed. This is not gonna do, this is not gonna do. I think we might stall this train actually, even given how light it is even. This is just, this is bad firing, ladies and gentlemen, so sorry about that. I should have prepared for this earlier. No, we might stall. Yeah, we've got a fairly decent incline right here in front of us, so let's get the fire going. Oh man, this is way too late. We should have been doing this before. Unfortunately, I was too smitten by looking at the DM3, it seems, that I forgot to get the fire going. Let's get the damper fully open. This might be too little too late, actually. Oh no. Come on. Up the hill. We've got to get up this hill. We're almost there. We're almost at Forest South. No. 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 I don't think. I'm not sure if we can make it. Put a bit more coal. It'd be a shame I'm putting so much coal into the firebox. Basically just throwing money away right now just to get up this last set of hills here. This last incline. Come on. Oh no. Well, the good news is I can see the boiler pressure increasing in the corner of my eye there. There we go. Look at that. Oh, we just got a burst of power from the boiler. Look at that. It's just rising. Okay, I think we might be saved just in the nick of time, because we almost stalled. I'm not sure what's happening there. I'm not sure if that's very realistic actually, because it seems like with this steam shunter, it seems to just get this burst of power in the boiler and the boiler pressure just goes nuts. And yeah, anyway, it's working in our favor anyway. You can see the sparks flying out of the chimney there, so that is helping us, so that's good. Thank goodness for that. Alright, we're charging back up the hill. Very good. Let's just back off the reverser and the throttle, because I think we're bringing this home, well, to Forest South at least. I must say we are nowhere near our destination at the moment. Well, it's not that we're nowhere near it, but we're getting there. We're probably about halfway mark-ish, and the day is pretty much drawing to a close. So like I said, I'll go ahead and just service this locomotive and park it up, leave it, abandon it, I guess you could say, and switch over to the DM3. That's gonna be it's gonna be great. Okay, so we're within the station limits now, pretty much, of Forest South, and there's our DM3. Oh, just waiting for us. It's a good thing I've got some spare cash in the old wallet there, because I would be pretty disappointed to miss out on getting this DM3 right now, just because I didn't have the money to get the license for it. We don't have the license yet, so we'll have to buy the license, but thankfully we can do that here at the station office. We'll go ahead and purchase the license, but first we'll service this locomotive. So let's just get a little bit of water pumped into the old boiler. And oops, a bit late there. I'm going off to the far left here because there's a water tank here, and I'm going to need to service this locomotive. Unfortunately, there's no coal service here, so unfortunately I'm going to end up probably paying good money to service this locomotive from a coal perspective. Actually, I just had a thought. I could take this locomotive with me and manually service it at City Southwest, perhaps. I'm pretty sure there's manual servicing for coal there, I think. That might be an idea, but to be honest with you, I kind of can't be bothered. I'm just going to put water in it, and oh, look at that! We've run out of water! How about that? Wow, okay, so it was a good idea to stop here at Forest South anyway. If there was no DM3 here, I still would want to be stopping here because we are basically out of water, and we can't continue unless we replenish our boiler, our water tank, sorry. So we need to fill our water reserves, and yeah. Alright, let me sort this out. This is going to take a little bit of time to align the water tank. I'm going to put a card up above actually. That's just going to explain to you how you can actually refill this steam shunter with coal and water, because there's a little bit of an art to lining up the water tank. So I'm just putting that card up above now. Go ahead and check that video out if you haven't already. That's all about feeding and watering the steam shunter, which is what I'm driving here right now. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. That's going to show you how you can actually refill this thing in the most, I guess, efficient manner. Right, so I've got the steamer lined up with the water tank. Like I said, check out that video on feeding and watering if you want to see exactly how I do this nice and quickly. I'm not going to go through it again here just for the sake of time, because we've got a lot to cover still. We still need to get the DM3 and continue our journey. So what I'm going to do here as well is I'm just going to start shutting down some of these systems, and I'm just going to park up this locomotive. And yeah, need to get it all sorted out so that we can recouple up to the DM3 tomorrow. So in the game tomorrow, I mean. So because the day is getting on right now, you can see the sun is going down. So I've disconnected the load from this old steam shunter, and I'm just going to pull forward a little bit. Whoops, no, wrong way. Oh, quickly, let's just, oh no, that wasn't good. Alright, I just want to bring this thing just a little bit out of the way here. Just go ahead and park it up. And then I'll run ahead into the into the station office. Purchase that DM3 license and then call it a night, and we'll continue tomorrow. Right, so I've got the steam shunter just pulled forward a little bit away from the wagons. I've pulled into a different siding, so tomorrow morning in the game we can pull into the siding which has the wagons on it, the water tank siding. Our steam shunter's on a different siding, so that's out of the way. And yeah, we'll continue the journey. So let's head on into the station office now. Actually, I just realized as well, I haven't put the handbrakes on the wagons out there, the diesel, but nah, they're on level ground. It's 9 PM almost, so let's go ahead and just, yeah, this is where we are anyway, Forest South. So, okay, we've made it from Harbour and Town so far, and that's interesting, isn't it? We made it all the way down through here to Forest South, and this is where we ran out of water with the steam shunter. So once again, the steam shunter has proven to me that it is very limited. Once we've climbed those hills, and there wasn't many hills after that, I must say, just coming through the bottom of the map here. There's another set of hills here, but yeah, that steam shunter is really, really limited. I think they need to do something about that. Our destination is over here at City Southwest. Yeah, our job is ongoing. Unfortunately, we're not going to hit that time bonus tonight, or with this job at least. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just purchase the DM3 license if I can. Actually, what I might need to do first is just pay the fee. Okay, I'm going to need to pay the fees on the locomotive, on the steamer. So because we've got, yeah, okay, we've got some mechanical powertrain and resource fees and emissions, of course, which are quite high with the steam engine, that we need to pay off, I'd say, before we purchase that license. So there's 4K gone, but at least we did manually service the water, so that's one aspect of it done that we saved some money on, because manually servicing saves you money where you can. Okay, there's the DM3 license. We got it. We got the DM3 license. Finally, in career mode. Finally, we got it. We got it. I can't believe it. We actually got... It took me this long to get it. Episode 12. Can you believe it? Right. Anyway, I think now it's time to call it a night. We're just going to spend the night here at Forest South. And hopefully in the morning, our diesel wagons will still be waiting for us and not rolled away and down the hill. So just bear with me here. I just need a little bit of privacy. Just going to spend the night here. We're going to brush the old teeth and going to, use the facilities here. And, we'll resume in the morning with the DM3. There's just another quick look at that toothbrush. Right, it's time for bed. Okay, nice and early the next day in the game now. And I keep walking back into the ensuite there, into the bathroom. Okay, it's 5:30 in the morning, so I figured we'd get a nice and early start, and thankfully our wagons are still here, so that's always a good sign. There's the DM3 waiting for us, so we are going to drive the DM3, folks. We are going to get in there and take this thing and finish this job already. And for those of you who have just joined me, our job is to deliver some diesel, and we are going from, let me just get this lantern going, because it's still a little bit dark outside there. It's only 5:30 in the morning. Yes, we are delivering diesel from Harbour and Town to City Southwest, and we've made it pretty much halfway across using the old steam shunter so far, but I've found the DM3. So I'm going to switch locomotives to the old DM3, because I love driving the DM3. Okay, here we go. It's a new day. Come on. Oh, here she is, the lovely DM3. Can you believe it? We have finally gotten her in career mode. Look at that. Ah, that's lovely. Thumbnail material, maybe. It's a bit dark, but there you go. Yes, I miss driving this thing. This is a diesel mechanical locomotive, so it has a diesel engine, as you'd expect, but it doesn't have a generator or any electric motors at all. It's basically got a manual gearbox, which has a fluid flywheel coupling, and just running my hands over this and just operating these levers. Oh, I miss this. I really miss this. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Look at the way these gear levers move, and just... Okay, alright, enough of that. Let's go. Come on. Let's get this thing moving. Yeah. That's how we start her up. Good thing with the DM3 is there's heaps of dash space. There's lots of space on the dashboard here. We'll turn off the starter power because we don't need that anymore. Get the cab light, dash lights going. And yeah, we'll go ahead and just sort these lights out as well. I've got to remember how these work now. I think it's lights 2. Yeah, that's looking good. That's what we want. We want nice bright lights. Okay, we've got our red light on the back as well, so that's good. Let's get this show on the road. So let's just take this handbrake off. The door gets in the way a little bit. Now there is a interesting gearbox on this thing as well. If you're not too familiar with how it works, basically there's 2 gear levers. And just checking the brakes here, making sure that they're all good. Fuel levels are full, sand's full. This thing is basically serviced and ready to go. So kudos to the last person who drove this. Alright. So yes, it's got a fluid flywheel, but it's got 2 different gearboxes. And basically you've got 1, 2, 3 on the left, and you've got 1, 2, 3 on the right. And you can get any combination of gears more or less, like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, and all that kind of stuff. And that's basically how you can get your different gear ratios and whatnot, and yeah, basically drive this thing. So if you want to see me drive the DM3, like I did say, put another card right now. And that will just show you pretty much the first proper video where I did drive the DM3. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already as well. the DM3 diesel locomotive adventures, diesel mechanical locomotive adventures. That was the first proper video where I drove it. Anyway, let me just get into position here. I'll go ahead and just back up into the siding where our diesel tankers are waiting for us. And yeah, we're going to try and make an early start today because it's nice and early in the morning, and we need to get this load over to City Southwest already. We can't be fooling around, so let's not waste any time now. Okay, so just backing into the siding here to our diesel tankers. We'll go ahead and just get all coupled up. And the good news is we can just head straight out in the direction that the DM3 is pointing. We'll be going forward, and we'll be able to basically continue our run to City Southwest. So that's going to be nice and easy. There's no need to spin this thing around on the turntable or anything like that. Oops. Just the trying to activate this brake valve here. There we go. Right, okay, let's get this thing moving. So something's going on with the brakes. I think it's the brake valve at the end of the train, because this was previously hooked up the other way around with the locomotive on the other end. And yeah, I did leave this valve open. Okay, let's close that valve. When you get that red flashing light, you know something's wrong. When you see that in the cab, that light flashing there on the brake pipe indicator, that's better. Okay, we're charging the brake up. Very good. Alright, release the brakes now. There's that red needle coming down to 0, which is what we want. Horn. Low, low. Okay, very good. Handbrake off. Yep. Right, come on, let's go, let's go. Nope, not backwards, not backwards. Forwards. Oh, this is, we're still kind of moving here. Alright, here we go. Whoa, and we're in low, so the engine's going to rev up quite fast here. I'm going into 2-1, so 2 on the first lever and 1 still on the second lever there, on the right hand side. And then we'll go into, we'll just go into 2-2. Now, I did explain this in previous videos, just for the sake of those of you who are watching this video. There is a gear change sequence which I do use mostly for the DM3. Now, if you were to follow it gear for gear, listen, and take note of this if you haven't already. It's 1-1, which is low, then it's 1-2, then it's 2-1, then it's 2-2, then it's 3-1, 3-2, 2-3, and then finally 3-3 for top gear. Okay, so I'm not going to say that again, at least in this video, because it's a bit boring, but those are the gears. Right, so we are here. We could go down. Actually, we are going to go down because that's the direction we're heading, and we'll go up this way towards City Southwest. Now, there are some inclines on the way. I'm not going to go up past Sawmill because it's just way too treacherous kind of thing. I don't know. It's about the same anyway. There's inclines going up this way as well, so whatever. We'll go this way. We'll go through that little. We'll basically bypass Sawmill. So into 3-2 there on the gears. And already we are not giving the DM3 a workout just yet. We're going down a hill, so I'm on the engine brake right now, which is this lever right here. So the engine brake works best when your engine revs are moderate to high, obviously, so that you have some engine revs to do some effective braking. If your engine revs are too low, you're not going to get much engine brake. So if you're coasting along in top gear quite slowly and your engine's just idling, you're not going to get any engine brake out of that. You need to switch down to a lower gear first. But yes, switching down to a lower gear, you've got to be very careful with this thing, because if you go into too low a gear for your speed, you'll over rev the engine and blow it up. And Derail Valley does model that, and you'll basically be up a paddle without up a creek even without a paddle. Okay, so got our points set correctly up ahead of us, which is very good. So there's our position more or less at the moment. We'll go straight through the points, as you can see there, and then we'll be coming, and then we'll be going around to the right hand side and up those inclines, and yeah, we'll be home free at City Southwest. it seems like we've just got some downhills at the moment, so we're really not making, we're not using the DM3, we're not pushing it very hard right now. And to be honest with you, this is kind of the tail end of the run. We do have some inclines coming up soon, but I think the steam shunt has done the majority of the heavy hauling so far on this job. So it's going to be a nice easy run for the DM3, I think, more or less. Aside from those inclines that are coming soon, which I don't have a doubt this thing can easily handle because... Oh, okay. I just learned something new there. With the engine brake on, you also can't change gears. Basically, if there's any load on the engine, whether that's negative or positive load, so if you got engine brake or throttle, do not change gears. Make sure that you're basically neutralizing the load on the drivetrain before you change gears. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. The DM3 has a different braking system to the DE2 as well. It's got a release position and a running position there. That's that running position. So I'm just adding a little bit of braking here because I'm a bit worried about going too fast. I don't want to lose our load or the train or the locomotive here. So, but yes, you do have to be careful with this DM3. You do need to kind of think about what gear am I in, what gear do I need to be in soon, am I accelerating, am I decelerating, do I need the engine brake? There's quite a bit to it, and that's what makes this DM3 quite fun indeed. This is not the first time I've driven it, but it is the first time I've driven it in career mode, so there's that. Right, just going back to 2.3 here, we were in 3.3, which is top gear, and the revs were a little bit too low, so I'm just getting the revs into the happy zone so I can apply a bit of engine braking and just make it a bit more effective there. I might need to just I think we're going okay actually. We'll just move the brake into running there, and we're coming up upon there's the garage. I forget the name of that. It's not Steve's garage, it's a different one. That was the original garage. Alright, so here we are more or less in this position. There's a set of points coming out. We do have to bear to the right, and there's that crazy set of hills as well that I was just mentioning that we will have to go up. Bob's garage, I think it was. That's it. Okay, so nice, easy sailing. I do love the old musical tone of the gearbox on this DM3. Any mechanical locomotive in the game just has that lovely gearbox noise. I noticed that the DH4s had it as well. In the previous episode, you would have seen that or heard that, hopefully. The DM3's got it too. Just that nice little whirring sound. To a degree, I guess the diesel electrics have it too, but yeah, it's only about 8:30 in the morning now, so I think we'll easily make it to City Southwest by lunchtime in the game. Revs are very happy. They are increasing a bit, so I might have to get onto this engine brake a little bit further in just a second. Yeah, let's just add a little bit more engine brake here because our speed is increasing and we don't want it to increase too much more. Got a bit of a curve coming up here. Speed limit, we're well within the limit there. Okay, so we do have to make sure we bear off to the right hand side. We do not want to go left. Sorry, that's here. So yeah, we want to go off to the right and basically up the hill. If we go off to the left here, we will be passing through the sawmill. But yes, we want to go off to the right. Well, that's the way I'm going, at least. It's the way I want to go. You know what the awesome thing with these diesel locomotives is? You don't have to prepare your firebox with coal and fire and get ready for the hill and make sure your boiler pressure is good. But yeah, obviously with the DM3 you do have the gears to worry about, so we'll just keep it in 2-3, and as soon as we're past this curve I'm going to go ahead and just add throttle. Yep, there's our speed sign and our incline sign as well, so got a little bit of an incline. Get off the engine brake, let's start adding some throttle here, because we do need to make sure that we get up this hill. Now this DM3 is actually more powerful than the steam shunter as far as I remember. The steam shunter is kind of between this and the DE2 diesel shunter. So yeah, the DM3 has actually got more pulling power. So what we've got behind us today is basically a piece of cake for this locomotive. So shouldn't have any issues there. To be honest with you, the main reason why I took that load of tankers that I've got behind us today for this job is just because, or for this episode, is just because I wanted to pass through Forest South, and that seemed like the most convenient load to take with the steam shunter without causing too much trouble. And at the same time, hopefully score the DM3, which we have gotten now, so that's very good. Okay, now we do have this oil temperature readout here with the DM3. If you accelerate with the engine revs too low, like in top gear like I am now, 3.3, you will increase the oil temps quite a lot. So if you use lower gears, you'll keep the oil temps in check. You don't want the oil temps to get into the red zone there, because then you'll cause gearbox problems with your old DM3. You do not want that. Good news is though, as I've been yammering away just now, this DM3 has been just chundling up this hill, chundling, that's not even a word, chugging up this hill, I guess you could say, without much issue. So yeah, as I mentioned, this load of 100 and something, 130 odd ton, whatever it was, is basically nothing for this thing. This thing is rated to many hundreds of tons, and I'm sure you could even get away with probably up to about 1,000 ton on the level with this locomotive. So yeah, we are just really not even tickling the hauling capacity of this locomotive right now, but that's fine. Like I mentioned, now that we're more or less over this hill, we'll be rolling into City Southwest shortly, and for future episodes we will have this good old DM3 at our disposal, and I can't wait for future episodes of this. So I think we're more or less in this section right here right now, and it's just a nice casual left-hand turn soon, and then we'll be more or less upon City Southwest. So look forward to that. Right, so we've been snaking our way ever closer to City Southwest for the past few minutes here, and just having a look at where we need to drop off our load of diesel today, and that is C2I. So if we just go into our station booklet here, and that is basically all the way at the end. We just need to roll right through, straight on through to the C yard there at City Southwest. And I think if we go ahead and have a look, that's transfer yard C2I. Oh yep, that's directly, basically right in the middle. Oh no, it's one off to the left. So yeah, that's fairly straightforward anyway. So okay, we will be there in just a moment now. So not too far. And this is basically a milk run for the DM3. So we should be there in just a moment now. Okay, here's City Southwest. So this is the limits of City Southwest. We're just coming through, and we do need to just go straight on through here. Horn! And it looks like points are set correctly to take us straight on through. We don't want to go off to the left or the right. We just want to go straight and then curve around to the left eventually. And that will take us towards the C yard. Level crossing here, so make sure we give ample warning. It's coming up to about 11 AM in the morning now on day 2 of this run, so made it before lunchtime, well and truly. We did get a nice early start though from Forest South, and like I said before, I'm really looking forward to taking this DM3 on more adventures in career mode. This will not be the only time I drive this locomotive, that's for sure. From City Southwest, I'm sure we'll have a nice slew of jobs that we can choose from. And because we've got concurrent jobs in our license bag, I guess, we can do more than one job at once. And the DM3 is certainly a nice hauler as well. So not quite DH4 territory. And speaking of DH4, there is one in the engine shed there, just on the left-hand side, you can see. There's DH4, but we won't be taking that, I don't think, in the next episode, because I think majority of you would probably agree that you want to see me driving the DM3. And I tend to agree with you there, because I just love flipping these gear levers and driving this thing. It's a shame I didn't really get to show it off in this episode too much just yet, but like I mentioned, don't you worry, we will be driving this thing in future episodes. So look out for it in the next episode. Let me just shift down a little bit here. And yep, we're in the siding we need to be now. C2I, just gone into that. And we're just trying to slow this thing down using the engine brake. Really shouldn't be using the engine brake at such a low speed here, but that's fine. Okay, just trying to decide which gear I should go into. We're in 3-1 right now. Let's go to 2-2. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just start applying the brake. Handbrake! Not the best way to stop the train, I know. Just putting a bit of load on the DM3. Wearing out the brakes a bit, but that's fine. Okay, we got the first handbrake set on the diesel wagons. Oops. Didn't really mean to do that, but anyway. I was trying to just uncouple. That's fine. Okay, very good. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to pull forward and then reverse this thing out on the adjacent siding so that it's nicely ready to go for a future episode. So just bear with me, I'll do that and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, so just reversing back through the adjacent siding there. I'm going to go ahead and just put the brake on here shortly. Just need to pull into the engine shed siding, I guess you could call it. And because we are light engine, I'm just in 3-2 gear ratio wise for those of you watching at home. We will get a nice long run with this, a nice detailed run in the next episode, don't you worry. If you haven't watched me drive the DM3 just yet, you will see that in a future episode as well. For the moment, we'll go ahead and just call it quits because I think we've done well today. We've gone ahead and purchased our DM3 license and we've gone ahead and acquired the DM3, I must say. That's definitely what we want because I've been kind of lusting after this DM3 for a little while in this game, within career mode at least, and finally we've gotten it. So there we go, there's the DM3, folks. We have scored it in career mode. So yeah, I think there's not much more to say. I'm just going to run ahead into the station building and validate the job, and we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up. Okay, here's the station office, and unfortunately because it's day 2 in the game, we would not have gotten our time bonus for this job, unfortunately, but the upside is we did get our DM3. So, oh, actually, we're not too far off the time bonus there, but unfortunately, we didn't quite make it. We got $65,000 in the old bank now, and it looks like we do need to pay some fees there. We've got these fees, basically, we need to pay. It looks like there's a little bit of damage there for the wheels. Diesel and emissions, mechanical powertrain. The DM3 seems to really wear out the mechanical powertrain just through normal use, it seems. So there's $3,000 actually. And you know what? It's possible that I can probably actually just manually service the DM3, but I'll do that in a future episode. I'm not going to take up any more time and do that now. We are at City Southwest. We did make it across from Harbour and Town today in this episode. We came all the way down with the steam shunter and stopped at Forest South where I picked up the DM3 license, managed to get the DM3 as well. That just spawned into the world, and we came across with the DM3 for the rest of the run, delivering our diesel and getting our payoff. So actually there's not too many jobs here at City Southwest, but yeah, I'll have a little bit of a look and probably leave that for next time. There's a run. Actually, we can haul some empty cars up to machine factory. We can go to food factory. Yeah, there's 2 logistical hauls there. We can combine those 2 jobs together maybe. And there's also a run to goods factory in town as well. Yeah, we'll have a look. There's some shunting jobs here which I really don't care about, so I'll leave them on the right hand side there. Interesting. Okay. Well, we've got 3 jobs to choose from in the next episode, and we can do, well, I think I've got concurrent 1 at the moment, so I can do at least 2 of these at once. Can't do as many jobs as I like, I don't think. Need to kind of confirm that. But anyway, we'll go ahead and just have a little bit of a look in the next episode and see what we want to do, okay? So, yeah, in the meantime, we'll just go ahead and, actually, I'll just go ahead and just check it out. We've got concurrent, yeah, we don't have concurrent orders 2 yet, so concurrent orders 2 allows you to do unlimited jobs in one hit. But yeah, we've only got concurrent 1, so we can only do 2 of these jobs. We need to pick between 2 of these 3 jobs to do, so I have a bit of a think and see, but yeah, maybe we can head up to Machine Factory in town, or maybe go up to, actually from there we can go across to Food Factory, so maybe we can do that job, and the Machine Factory job as well. It would have been nice to be able to do all 3 jobs. Maybe we can actually just purchase concurrent orders 2 in the next episode actually, and then maybe do all 3 jobs. How about that? Let me know what you think in the comments anyway. But so far, this has been a successful episode as well, I think. Gotten ourselves the DM3, which I do love. And we can do all 3 of these jobs in one hit with the old DM3. It's got a lot of diesel in it, so if we take it easy, run it economically, we should be able to make it. But yes, thank you very much for watching anyway. I'll wrap it up here. Not gonna yammer on for too much longer. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel and enjoyed this. Please do subscribe. Please like the video if you did like it, and go ahead and share it with your friends if you think they'll enjoy it as well. But yes, until next time, I shall catch you all in the next one.